Out here we are reading the hand of a person whose life has been in education field. He has been a professor and teaching the highest level of people in this particular field, like people who are IS and all, administrative services. He used to teach them, and he was a professor, and he worked outside India. Uh, for that, we basically see the money line. If the money line is coming from the amount of moon, it basically means benefits coming to this particular person after he got married. And at the same time, if these people stay outside or far away from the place of their birth, they basically prosper more compared to if they stay inside their own country. But this doesn't mean that success wouldn't come to people if they are staying inside the country. If people are staying near to water, or their bosses are females, then basically benefits come to them. He made good amount of money. He was a consultant to UN as well, and for that we basically see this is the amount of Jupiter. Whenever we see this is the headline, they are rising lines towards Mount of Jupiter, and these are strong, very strong lines. It basically means that the person rises up to very high position in his life, and these people basically are good at administration. They have got a good political knowledge, and he used to give consultancy all over the world. Out here, there is some uniqueness in this particular hand, and things even really I can't make out. The main part of his life is the latter part of his life, sometime after the age of 70s. He's approximately 80 right now, and he basically was misdiagnosed, and doctors basically misdiagnosed and gave him wrong medicines, and he went into coma, not once but many times, 3 to 4 times, and he almost came out of death. For that, we basically by looking at the hand, we really can't tell that if the person would be on bed for very long duration of time. We do see this is the lifeline, and this is the amount of Venus. When the lifeline is encircling in a good manner, we basically say that the person has got good health. First part is that. The other part is if the amount of Venus is prominent, it means that the person has good vitality and stamina. So on that aspect as well, we find that that things are good. But what we see is that there are few lines which are coming and striking the lifeline out here. So this is at different age that major lines are coming and striking the lifeline, and this basically might be the problem lines when bad health came to him. He has been in I would say on bed from past 7 to 8 years, and but still, if you ask me that will I be able to judge by looking at his hand that he has he has actually been on bed for such a long duration of time, probably I would not be able to tell you. And we can just make guesses out here that the person might have bad health. There could be various signs. One could be this is the lifeline, one could be a line going like this. This could be indicating bad health, or a line like this, or if you notice that there's a star-like formation out here, even this could mean bad health. So there are various lines which might indicate bad health, and the last one which is coming and striking out here, this could be age approximately 85. That's when maximum bad health could be seen in this particular hand. We also try to, but the good aspect on this palm is that like he suffered from central pontine nerve damage, and in this case what happens is that the person becomes immobile, and the person is not able to function properly. So his hands and legs, the doctors claim that he wouldn't be able to move at all. But surprisingly, in spite of getting the best doctors, they said that he wouldn't be able to move around. But still, he's able to stand up and eat with his own hands. So in that way, we can say that he's been able to do few things, but still he's immobile, and he can't do almost all of his work. But his mind is still agile, and we see a perpendicular line out here, and having a perpendicular line over the amount of mercury means that the person is good at communicating, and there's much more clarity in this particular person's mind. In spite of being on bed for such a long duration of time, he shows a remarkable clarity and in his mind, and his vision is also lost. For vision loss, we basically see in this particular area. This is the heart line, and on the heart line, if the line is damaged, or there's an island-like formation, sometimes there's an island-like formation, that could mean vision loss. But out here, we don't even see that as well. Sometimes weak eyes also are represented on the mount of Venus. So even we don't see any bad marking except this particular star. And the other thing we see is we see prominent lines over the mount of Sun, indicating a very strong carrier. This period is basically considered after the age of 50s, when the line is developing sometime after this. So after the age of 50s, he did fairly have a very strong and good carrier, and this is the line of head. It is branching out, which means that the person is a genius. He is able to see two sides of the coin at the same time. The money line, the heart line, is starting under the mount of Saturn, indicating he's a good money manager. He was able to accumulate good amount of wealth in his life, and the money that is being spent on his medical bill is his own money, and probably having a strong money line might mean that the person would remain wealthy all throughout his life. And the other aspect to see on his palm is that the heart line is quite distinct and clear, meaning that he was highly focused. His heart functioning is also surprisingly very good, and these people, even in spite of being on bed for such long duration of time and having like ventilator support for months, he has survived, probably because he had a very good amount of Venus and it was very raised. I wanted to share this thing because it's it's good in many ways, like Mount of Jupiter, Mercury, Mount of Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, Saturn, all are good. Even Venus is good. But having this elongated period of being on bed and not being able to do one's own thing is a major thing. And still he has been like clear thought process is there even now. Clear thought process basically comes when the headline towards the end, it is neat and clean. Like if you see neat and clean, we can say clarity. If out here towards the end of the line flitters away like this, like too many branches, then it is the bad sign. Or if the line becomes very broad towards the end, then it is a bad sign. Basically, the thought process ends out for these people. So, in all, I would say a good hand, but a painful old age for him and for his family members. If you did ask me that by looking at the hand, was I able to guess that he would suffer these things? I would say no. We can just guess, and I really even can't pinpoint why it happened and for how long more he would be in pain. We can just make wild guesses. Probably these lines, trouble lines. But even after having these trouble lines, the main line doesn't. The main lifeline is still quite clear. So probably even after all those medical problems, he has survived. That's it for this particular reading. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, click on the like button and do subscribe. Thanks again.